game, this wonderful game between Next Level Gaming UK and Kung Fu Fanda. We are actually already into picks and bans. I was a little bit late getting back, so let's get straight on into this.
So, Yasuo, Braum, Jax, pretty standard bans across the board, which, you know, to be expected.
Yeah, to be expected. To be expected.
Morgana, once again.
KFF, like, I love their name, but I also hate their name. Because I'm going to say Kung Fu Panda, and people are going to be like, oh, we're not Kung Fu Panda, we're Kung Fu Fanda.
Yeah,
so,
God. Way to get our name wrong.
Yeah, it's too late at night for me to have to get names correct, okay?
Yeah. So, Evelyn ban, interestingly enough. We saw Evelyn a couple of times early on in this in this day. And, you know, she's been good. She's been strong, been able to make moves and shapes in this game.
She has made many shapes. Most of them sort of a spiky line, also known as hate spikes.
Yeah, a spiky line of pain, one might say.
The spiky line of pain is coming to get me. And actually, another character with a less spiky, a more streamlined line of pain is Thresh with that death hook.
Yes, and he's been locked in for Recycle.
Recycle? Oh, no. Okay, I thought the team's name was Recycle there for a second. It's getting a little bit late.
Or is it Recycle? I can't decide. Is it Recycle or Recycle? I don't know how to say this.
A Recycle sounds like, you know, you get those Reese's peanut butter cups.
Oh
like
God, they're fantastic.
As an ice cream.
Oh God, that sounds like a dream.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you can get those Ben & Jerry's peanut butter cup ice creams. They're delicious. I'd recommend them to anyone. I don't get sponsored by Ben & Jerry's, but if you're listening, you can send me some.
Please, yeah. Ben & Jerry's, if you're listening, please. I would actually send me a jar of that, and I'll sponsor you regularly. I love Reese's peanut butter cups.
It's Recycle.
Is it?
Apparently, someone just told us, you said his name wrong, you tit. So, obviously, they're talking to you there. I'm not a tit.
It's always... That's it. So, Recycle.
Recycle.
I'm sorry that I pronounced your name.
Can people, like, just, like, calm down with the caps, okay? It's late at night. Just want calmness in my capitals. Anyway, we see Nexx being locked in, and a Vi as well. Vi can be very, very strong in the jungle, especially if you get some early kills, get that Spirit of the Elder Lizard, and then a Triforce can do a huge amount of damage. So, and then Diamond Prox, obviously, he is Diamond Prox playing now for NLG UK because
he left Gambit Gaming, so, obviously. Yeah, and so he decided that joining NLG was the best thing for his career.
Yeah.
And here we have him playing Elise, the Spider Queen.
Yeah. Also very well known for his Elise, actually, Diamond Prox, and also his Evelyn play wouldn't have been surprised to see that one locked in, and Shyvana, but obviously not being picked up yet in this game. Shyvana against Nexx is quite a nice matchup, so maybe we'll see that getting locked in. Lulu, is that going to be mid or is that going to be top? That's an interesting little debate to have.
Yeah, I think Lulu is good in either role, and I mean against the Renekton, I think Lulu could or does struggle a little bit early on because Renekton is just so aggressive and just gets in your face and just tons and tons and tons and tons of damage.
Tons of damage.
Tons and tons and puns of damage. Yeah. So I think it depends what NLG want to aim for and what they want to achieve from their comp at the moment. And at the moment, we kind of see this kind of pick comp, hit a hook, or death sentence, or you hit a cocoon, and that allows you to kind of follow up. But it really, I think, depending on whether that Lulu's mid or top, it's going to really depend on where they want to sort of transition this comp. And I think potentially we might see a Jinx come through because I think Jinx could work, or Caitlyn.
Yeah, there's lots of sort of counter picks you can do for Vayne. I just realised I got the overlay. I've actually got the champ names, the team names the wrong way around, so I've fixed it up right now. It's KFF versus NLG UK. And NLG UK have too many letters in their abbreviation, I've decided, so if they could just make themselves NLG or just GUK, that would make it a lot easier. Although, if they were GUK, it would just be Guck. And Guck probably isn't the best name for your team.
Yeah. So, Shyvana hovered over here for Reese.
Mm-hmm. Did say.
That's good. Predictions, next level predictions coming out of Sona Hills. Next level predictions.
No goal for you, obviously, hovering over that Caitlyn as well. And no goal for you is an interesting name because either it means that you play a lot of people in their Silver 1 promos.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, I'm going to beat you, so no.
What do you think? Do you think she's the Fabby of like Silver 1. She is the Fabi of Silver 1.
It's like, oh, you're in your Pro Series, lose.
Oh, what's that? A lol, King June. You've got 1 win away from getting into gold. AFK.
Nah, it's obviously a little bit too late for both of us at the moment.
I think so too. It's 20-11. This is going to be a good game.
Yeah, Xin Zhao top lane though. That's going to be really interesting coming out from Kung Fu Fanda.
Yes, this is what I want to see. Crazy, off the wall stuff. This is what we need.
Yeah.
You know, we got the brand in the mid lane. We've got Xin Zhao at the top. This is great. I think Xin, especially with the ignite.
Yeah, it's really aggressive. He's going to be jumping in there with that audacious charge, getting the 3 talent strike off. But then Renekton's are very safe. So he can be great early with the aggression, but he's got his slice and dice. If he just gets the slice off properly, he can dice away, and it's very difficult for Xin Zhao to follow up properly on that.
I think it will. If Xin can get that early kill with the ignite, then he's going to beat out that power of the teleport for a couple of levels, and he's going to get himself a nice advantage. But if he forces Renekton to back, blows that ignite, but doesn't get the kill, Ren's going to TP straight back in, and Xin Zhao's going to be like, oh, I'm down, and I've kind of thrown all my resources and health and mana to try and kill you. But you're Renekton and you're running on Fury, and you've probably got better sustain than me, really, with your Culver Meek. So I think the Ignite I think it's just too weak compared to Teleport at the moment. It just doesn't bring the same kind of level of map pressure and even lane pressure that Teleport does. So
we have to assume that these teams have the same. I think we know they don't have the same coordination as LCS teams, but you have to assume they're getting there. They're on a similar sort of level of idea and level of thought as a team. So Teleport, the reason it's played in LCS is because of the map pressure it gives you, as you were saying. Even with the recent nerfs to teleporting to tower, it's still better to take that teleport and be able to apply that 5-man pressure, especially in the sort of level 8, level 9, level 10 time. Yeah,
getting
down to get that top tower. If you can get a tower and a dragon in bot lane, as opposed to just getting a top tower, yes, it means in the future maybe you'll be able to put a bit more map pressure down by getting the top tower, but you haven't got that early game gold. You're not going to be able to snowball champions like Vayne, champions like Brand, who really work off getting that little bit of extra damage in their kit by getting the extra early gold. Yeah.
And I think something that we need to highlight as well is this bottom lane. Vayne traditionally struggles in this matchup because Caitlyn just outranges her.
Yeah.
And I mean, if Thresh can hit these hooks onto Nami, she's going to take a ton of poke. And,
definitely.
And I suspect that we're going to see her maxing that ebb and flow because they're just going to need the sustain. But is that going to be enough, really? Because like Caitlyn is just going to do ridiculous levels of damage, and Thresh, if he maxes that Flay first, can be a very potent force to deal with as well in terms of damage output. And Vayne typically takes a long time to ramp up, so trading could be very difficult for them. We could see them kind of get harassed out and potentially picked off. And Elise, just a very strong all-round ganker and jungler, she can just kind of repel her way in. Even tower diving is a very real possibility for an early level, at least because of that kind of aggro reset mechanic that repel can give you.
Oh, I really expect Vi to spend a lot of time in bot lane.
Yes.
Because if she can get an early couple of kills for that Vayne, it snowballs her so well. And even if she gets the kills for herself, it means that she has that extra pressure on the rest of the map. And Xin Zhao is not the easiest person to gank. Neither is Lulu at all. Like, Lulu is almost impossible to gank, especially post 6, because she just wild growths you, and it's like, well, have fun with that. So it's going to be very difficult for her to gank any lane apart from bot, unless she burns some early summoners in a different lane.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with you.
Yay! Woohoo!
Woohoo! Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And I mean, Vayne is probably the best player on their team on Fanda. So, you know, if they can get in there and kind of get her rolling, like you said, with that Vi, it's gonna do great. But doing the same thing for Brand is not necessarily a bad idea either, because Brand sort of traditionally struggles. He's not a very meta pick and hasn't been for a very long time. But if you kind of get him into a very strong power position, he can make a lot of plays and do a lot of damage because of the just sheer number of bounces that he can get out of his ultimate, and kind of that kind of stun combo. It's really good as a pick with the Nami and with the Vi and with the Renekton. You can just kind of go, I'm going to stun this guy, and then Vi knocks him, and then Nami bubbles him, and then Renekton stuns him again, and you can kind of see how you can just kind of, you've got a lot of single target stuns in CC that you can just pick and lock someone down. And if they can kind of work that together, they could have a very successful comp in the mid game around the objectives and making numbers advantages and things like that.
I think, yeah, the stun lock combination coming out from the KFF team is superb. A Nami bubble into the brand stun, into a condemn if you need it, into Vi jumping in there with assault and battery as well, and Vault Breaker, and Renekton as well. If he can gets in there with the Ruthless Predator, it's a huge amount of stun. It's going to be very difficult for anyone to escape from that. But that does take a lot of team coordination and a lot of skill as a team to be able to position yourself like that. Yeah,
absolutely. But then you have the same kind of move that you can make from NLG. You've got Cocoon coming out from Elise. You've got the Thresh hook and the Flay. You've got the Whimsy? Yeah, that can come out as well. So you can kind of lock someone up with that. And then you've also got the knock up from Xin Zhao and the traps from Caitlyn. So they all kind of chain together in much the same way. And so I actually think these teams are going to clash in very similar ways as well. We've both kind of got non-standard picks in the top for NLG and non-standard picks in the mid for Kung Fu Fanda. So both teams are are comfortable to play kind of slightly out of meta champions as well.
Nice little ward here from Elise into that bush. Going to keep her safe. No one's going to be able to sneak in through that river bush or through the river at all. And we did see that there was a bit of a conglomeration, a gathering here for NLG UK. They've decided to back off and they're going to keep themselves safe. Get this blue buff for Vi, who does rely on it a little bit in the early game just to get that extra cooldown reduction. Vi can be very mana intensive if you're spamming her spells to clear out that jungle and try and go for those early ganks.
Yeah, I think both. We're seeing both junglers starting on this bottom side, so we're going to see a big clash at that 3 minutes 20 mark in that top lane, I think, and really, you can't blame either jungler. Renekton very strong at that point in the game. Xin Zhao considered a very strong early game champion as well, and actually Xin Zhao starting with the Doran's blade, so he really with the ignite wants to be crazy aggressive onto this Renekton.
Interesting from Renekton, we actually see he's got that runic shield mastery, which, in all honesty, I think is quite weak as a mastery.
I don't rate it.
Because you die, and it's like if someone auto attacks you, you lose the 50 damage shield anyway.
Yeah.
And how much one auto attack can affect you in the early game? If you're lucky, it will work, but as you get later and later into the game, it's nothing.
Yeah.
And you have to die for it to reset anyway. So
yeah,
it's an interesting pickup from him. Maybe he has a strategy behind it. Maybe it really helps him out in top lane trades, and with Renekton, you want those early game trades. So perhaps he has a good plan for it, but I wouldn't pick it myself.
Seeing Thresh go for that relic shield again, so it's the second Thresh we've seen today, going towards that Targon's brace as well. Clearly wanting to go with a kind of that more tankier route, going towards the face of the mountain as well. But I think that item really kind of identifies that you need to have incredibly good communication as a team, because so often do you see...
Ooh, early level 2 here. Nami's going to get jumped on. The Flay comes back, but Caitlyn's not focusing the same target. If they'd both been focusing Nami, might have gone down there, but managing to get lots of damage on. And yes, they pushed them out of lane, but might have been an early kill there for the Kung Fu Fandas if they managed to coordinate that ever so slightly better. Ooh, nice to get into the wall. Look at that damage onto Caitlyn. Hook's going to miss as well. Vi coming into the top lane, and Elise is not quite there yet. She's coming round as quickly as she can, but Xin Zhao is a bit out of position. Tries to jump away, gets knocked back by the Vault Breaker. He's going to go down here. There's no escape. But fucking Vi gets the first kill with that excessive force. Nicely done by her, and then 1 kill up now. Oh, but Elise in the bush going to miss the cocoon. Damon Fox not quite able to get that nice flash across the wall there by Vi. Going to keep her safe.
Yeah, I think that was Damon Prox maybe could have positioned himself and come up the river in a different way rather than trying to loop around the back and been in sort of better positioning, ready for that counter gank. But good gank from Vi, getting herself a nice little gold advantage as well, and getting the snowball on Vi jungle is incredibly important, because if you can get her going and get the kind of the wheel, the kind of churning, you end up in a real kind of you just end up at this unkillable Bruiser Goddess with the Brutalizer and the Triforce and the Lizard Elder, and it's just, she's tanky because of the shield, and the CDR gets the shield back up sooner, and it's just very difficult to deal with. And
it's very, very, very tanky because of that passive, giving her all of that basically extra health that you get from the shield.
Effective HP, exactly that.
Yeah, really nicely done by her. And Xin Zhao going down, of course, early. Didn't use his Ignite, didn't use his Flash, so...
But not that far behind CS. He's got the mini wave stacked against him, and he's not doing too badly against this Renekton, realistically. So I don't think this lane is over in any sort of capacity.
Oh, no, not yet. Vi coming into the bot lane, though, has got that red buff. No wards here as well. Vi's going to jump in, going to knock no one up there, gets flayed away. Nice hook actually landing there, but they don't want to engage this yet. Elise is coming. Can they bait for long enough? They might be able to. There's no hook available, of course, and no flay either. Here comes Damon Fox on that. Elise gets condemned away there. Nicely done. Not going to be able to cocoon through that, but there is the exhaust onto Nami. She's going to go down. No! Escapes with basically no HP, but no tower shots were really tanked up there, so they're all going to be able to back away here from Kung Fu Fanda. And Damon Fox almost helped pick up that kill, but not quite enough damage onto that Nami.
Yeah, and same again. Split damage from these guys has been kind of and the communication has been a little bit wonky, and maybe actually maybe go back to the drawing board a little bit and talk a bit more and kind of go, guys, we need to be really crystal clear on we are killing this guy. This is where the summoner spells are being blown. This is who we're targeting, and this is who we're focusing out. And if they could do that, these kills would stick, and they'd get themselves a lovely advantage.
Ooh, nice hook there onto Vayne's going to get flayed back as well. The bubble only knocking up one. The heal actually coming out there. I think Vayne probably would have survived, but you want to be safe, especially against a Caitlyn who can get that headshot, and you not quite realise it sometimes. It's not the biggest animation for you to be able to see.
Nope. Yeah, it's. I think the heal probably wasn't necessary, but it's not. Sometimes it's not worth the risk.
Yeah.
To make sure that your math is absolutely on point.
Right.
So this lane is not going as badly as it could be, though, because ultimately they're only 5 CS down, and they've only blown 1 extra, and the summoner spells are about even as well.
Oh, they're coming in because here comes Vi from the back line. Oh, she misses the Bolt Breaker, and just not quite hitting that one right up in the right position. Xin Zhao actually doing superbly in the top lane. Managing to put a lot of damage down, but we see it's because there's a Doran's shield on Renekton and boots, and there's a long sword and a Doran's blade on that Xin Zhao. So as long as they're not on a tower, you can do a huge amount of damage to this Renekton.
Yeah, really shoving in and forcing this Renekton to make decisions about trading under turrets. But Renekton, traditionally quite a good sort of turret killing guy. Relia probably being the best example.
I think is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. It's 11 o'clock. I hope you forgive me.
I do. I forgive you, man.
Thank you.
Comes to love.
But I'm surprised that this Renekton's not playing as aggressive as he could be, because I feel like...
Ooh, Pyroclasm coming in the mid lane. Lulu's going to get taken very low, but there's the Wild Growth. Nice counter action to that spell. She actually dodges out that Pillar of Flame, but does get taken down anyway. The Ignite's not going to be enough to go on surviving with a tiny amount of HP.
I think Brand is running dangerous game as well.
Yeah, gotta survive with the dangerous game, man. Ooh, audacious charge in the top lane. Zinzao not going all the way in, but there's the Dominus popped by Renekton, kind of anticipating the Crescent Sweep coming out from Zinzao, and he's going to be able to push this lane in quite nicely now.
Yeah. Great play in the mid lane, though. Great play from that Brand to pick himself up that kill, and he's actually maxing the Seer, which is interesting because Seer as a spell is Brand's highest sort of scaling ability, but it's also probably the hardest ability to hit.
Oh, definitely.
And also, like, Brand is kind of known as, or is considered quite a good wave clearer, because that searing pillar, not searing pillar, pillar of flame, sorry, is just has great wave clear. But he's not able to. He's not able to wave clear.
Ooh, Elise is not in a good position here. Misses the cocoon because she didn't realise Brand knew she was there. She flashes away. Vi's trying to come in from the side. Not going to be able to get there in time.
That Brand damage. He's seeing the damage. If he does manage to hit that skill shot, which means he obviously has confidence on this Brand to be able to hit those. If he hits that Seer.
Here comes Vi into mid lane. There's no Wild Growth. There is a flash available. Pyroclasm comes out. Not going to be enough. There's the Pillar of Flame, but gets flashed away. Managing to get away there by Lulu. But nice little engage there from Brand and Vi in the mid lane.
This Brand is making moves and showing us actually how much damage Brand can do if you can if you can play him right. And it seems like he's giving this Lulu a real run for her money.
Yeah, he has got needlessly large rod first as well, so I think probably contributing a little bit to his damage, but
Absolutely.
he is putting a huge amount down. Anyway, Damon Fox getting taken very low here by the blue buff, and it's kind of the moment where you wish you had a Karthus on your team. It's just like, oh yeah, Karthus ult, GG, well played.
But Brand roaming down that
Ooh,
bottom.
final hour popped in the bot lane, yeah, and here comes Renekton with a teleport in as well. Nicely timed there, Brand is there as well. There's no escape here. It's a double kill for Vayne, 4 kills to 0.
Yeah, the ping's coming onto the Dragon as well. We've got 5 guys here. So, you know, just great little teleport from Renekton. And there's the power of the teleport compared to the teleport not being there for Xin Zhao. He gets down to that bottom lane. They get the double kill on the laners. Take Dragon at 9 minutes. And hang on a second, you've now got a 2k gold lead and you've got yourself 2 kills onto Vayne.
Oh, here comes Brand, Pyroclasm. Oh, actually gets repelled out from there. It's going to be enough damage here onto Damon Fox. He goes down. Brand picking up his 2nd kill of the game, and that was actually really nice play by Renekton because he just ran into the lane but baited out the wild growth from Lulu, which meant that she didn't have it for when that fight actually came out.
Yeah, or when Elise needed it because she was in a bit of trouble because of the repel. You know. Brand does so much damage.
Xin Zhao not in a good position here. Flash, Vault Breaker there onto him. Renekton is around as well, has got that dominance up, has got Flash as well. Audacious charge onto Vi, but that is one dead Xin Zhao, and Vi picks up the kill. Nicely done by her. She has arrested at least 2 people today, and also got that assist. So nicely done.
Yes, and we have the Vi versus the Caitlyn as well. I hadn't realised that.
Yeah,
she's great. It's great. Little secret passives going on when they get near each other. I think.
Yeah. They have special taunts as well, don't they? Oh, look at this damage from Brad. He might go down. Tower shots. Igniting. Is it going to be enough? It's not. Brand is unkillable by fire. You can't ignite Brand because he is made of fire.
No, it's Dangerous Game. That's what it is. I'm sure he's running Dangerous Game.
You have to look up his LoL King profile.
Yeah, absolutely. I need to know. He must be running Dangerous Game because he survived so many times on 10 HP from these ignites, and I truly feel for Lulu because we've all been there.
Yeah,
we've all been there. But you know that Brand is saying to himself, calculated.
Yeah, maths. Hashtag maths. I am the
hashtag
boss.
Maths. You know, like I am. You know, I am Lee Sin. I do trigonometry. You know, I know exactly what I'm doing.
Look at that damage onto Renekton in the top lane. He has got Dominus though. And although the cocoon hit earlier on, not going to be able to chase this one. Vayne is going in onto Caitlyn and was exhausted. There's the heal as well, but Vayne should be able to chase this one. Actually, they're rotating around. The boss come down. Condemn not quite into the wall there. There was no vision in the bush. Here comes Ace in the hole, but that is one dead Thresh. And Vayne picks up his 3rd kill of the game.
Great little tumble into the Condemn there to keep Thresh further and further away from
out
safe.
of position here in the top lane. Tower has been taken down. Slices and dices away. Oh, there's the repel though. Is Cocoon available? Not quite yet. Still a few seconds on that one, so wasn't able to get that one.
Towards the Spectral Wraith, which I'd heard other sort of high level junglers talk about. I think it might have been Saint Vicious who spoke about it before. He was like, you know, Ancient Golem isn't that great of an item on Elise anymore because they've changed the way it works, and it gives you that quill coat, and it gives you the it doesn't give you the tenacity, and you kind of need the tenacity on Elise to be this kind of frontline brawler that you want to be. Xin Zhao going onto this Renekton though.
Yeah, Renekton's got that slice, going to be able to get away, and Xin Zhao's done that a few times, but Renekton building tanky, got that giant spell. He's not going to be easily killed.
But Xin Zhao going towards the Blade of the Ruined King, and we'll see, because you know in this kind of mid game,
Brand's going to get caught out. Nice death sentence there, but the Pyroclasm is going to bounce a couple of times. Nice repel up to dodge out most of that damage. Flash across the wall. Here is Vi in the back line as well. She's used that Vault Breaker and the Assault and Battery as well. Is she going to be able to get out? No, she's not. The bubble comes in. Oh, not quite enough damage there from the Pillar of Flame, and Damon Fox is going to be able to get away from that one.
Yeah. Vi going a little bit probably too aggressive in their jungle, considering they didn't have Vayne around either to really kind of give them the numbers. But Xin Zhao, man, he's had a tough time in the top lane in terms of sort of pressure from Vi, but Renekton just really is not knowing how to deal with the damage that he's putting out, and the fact he's going towards the Blade of the Ruined King could give this Renekton a really sort of tough time. Coming into as he gets tankier and tankier, you know, that becomes more of a valuable item.
Brand going to pick up his 2nd blue buff of the game, and it's got that haunting guys as well. So going for the magic pen, which is not surprising on Brand. It really helps you out with a huge amount of extra damage, and the Leandries actually procs off your passive as well, so you get double procking which is
lovely
very
because
strong.
you get kind of the percentage max health in magic damage from your passive and from the Leandries. So you end up being quite a good kind of burn mage, which is hopefully is the idea behind Brand anyway.
It's all of the extra dots that you're getting out proc all of the Leandries passive procs as well, so do a huge amount of damage. He is a little bit behind in CS, but a lot ahead in gold in that lane, 700 ahead, so should be able to get himself some boots probably next and go towards those sorcerer's shoes.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's actually running... Let's see what else he's running on this page. He was running quite a lot of not quite a lot of magic penetration, sorry. It looks like he's running about 8 magic penetration in his page.
Xin jumping in the top lane. He's used that Blade the Rune King, and the Nectin is very low. Thresher's here. The Flay. Oh, gets flashed! The death sentence is going to spell doom here for a Nectin. Xin Zhao flashes in, manages to pick up that kill. Does tank up a tower shot for it, but nice rotation there by Thresh. And because that tower's down in the bot lane, we really don't see NLG Gaming being able to do anything from this. Sorry, NLG. Not NLG Gaming, because that's next level gaming.
Like attack damage.
Yeah, attack damage is too strong. We're going to try and push down this mid lane, but Elise and Lulu have relatively good clear, and we don't see too much damage coming out from that Vayne just quite yet.
Well, and this is something that we might see Kung Fu Fanda struggle with, because they don't really have a siege comp. They have a very AoE teamfight comp, so, if they can't get these picks and these kills, Vayne is not going to be able to harass and auto-attack these turrets, and that could spell kind of difficulties for them coming into this kind of mid-game era.
Ooh, nice hook there, and the cocoon as well, but Vayne is alive, and he's got final hour, exhaust being popped, there's the tidal wave coming across, Caitlyn's in the back line, the threshold is there, but he's getting taken very low as well. Vi trying to jump into the back line, Wild Growth down, Pyroclasm is there as well. Is Caitlyn going to go out? No, Vayne almost taken down as well. Beautiful hook, keeping Caitlyn alive and the cocoon as well. Here comes Brand, manages to get one kill there. Lulu's going to try and chase him off. Vayne's been life-stealing up in the back line while all of this has been happening. Caitlyn's chased across to the bottom of the map. Oh, Brand just missing their Pillar of Flame. No, ward just a little bit too late. Nice Dragon's Lair ward though. Got to comment on the style of wards. Oh, the hook lands, but that's a kill. Here comes Lulu though, and I don't think Vayne wants to take this fight on. Lulu managed to pick up Brand there. Shut down. Gives herself 500 gold, which is very, very nice.
The hook. The hooks. This Thresh, man. He's trying to compete.
The thing about Thresh is like, you land one hook, and it's just like, oh, he's a god. But
he landed 4 in that team fight back to back, though.
He did land 4 hooks. It's very well played by him.
He landed a lot. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I'm impressed as well. I was just making a comment generally about Thresh play.
Yeah, that very aggressive onto the Brand there, but getting the shutdown onto Lulu gives her so much gold because it's he was doing really well in those team fights. He was 5-0 until he died, and so that gives Lulu about 500 extra gold. And the gold between them, actually, because she got the shutdown, is only about 400 difference, despite the fact he has 3 more kills than her and only 10 less CS. So that's actually really good because that really brings her back. And actually, Lulu in this mid game is quite. We've talked about it a ton today. Lulu in this mid game is very powerful, and that's the dragon.
Dragon secured there by NLG UK, managing to pick up that bit of extra gold advantage for themselves. 3,500 ahead, and a lot of that is going to be seen on the... Well, it's sort of spread across, really. A lot of it's in the bottom lane, a lot of it's in that jungle as well. 1,000 in the jungle, about 1,000 in bot lane on that Vayne as well, and 600 on the supports, which is nothing to be sniffed at. Ruby Crystal coming... Ruby Sightstone coming out from that Nami. Going to be able to get just that little bit of extra map awareness. Now, lots of supports won't get that Ruby Crystal this early because you can only place 3 wards at any time. Yeah. But still, you do manage to get that little bit of extra sort of lasting map vision. You don't have to go back to get wards quite as often because you've got the extra
and
ward.
Nami being quite...
Oh, Brand getting hooked though. Thresh! You are a prince. You are a god. Almost mad life, but not quite yet, I'm afraid.
Not quite, but we'll give him a little bit of praise.
Yeah, Reesicle going in the back line. Nice cocoon there onto Nami. He's going to get melted. Vayne trying to come in from the side, but that's not the best positioning. Damon Pot's going to try and chase this one, but there's no cocoon. And Renekton has only just joined the party coming into this mid lane. They might be able to hold off this tower with Renekton, Vi and Vayne, but against that Xin Zhao, nope. Oh, the hook again! Thresh, you are a print. You are... Oh, he's God.
I called it. I called it.
Yeah. Reesicle, you take
You're
it.
God, Reesicle. I called it. But this is the problem that I talked about with the Vayne.
Oh, another hook! But the assault battery comes in. The Nexx is going to try and dive in there with the dominance as well. Reesicle's taking quite low. Wild Growth has been popped though. Can they land the hook on Brand? No, he decides to back away. He hasn't got any mana. They back away, but they got a tower and a bunch of kills out of that. Hook after hook after hook.
But this is the kind of problem that I talked about with the Vayne, is that she doesn't ramp up yet. And also she doesn't have great siege, whereas Caitlyn, she's loving it right now. You know, she's going towards the Aya. She's probably going to be able to go back and get it in a second. And she can just auto-attack these turrets from a relatively safe range and just take these objectives and kind of roll over them, which gives them that gold lead. Great Cocoon.
Oh, Tidal Wave coming in, though. That's going to miss. That's not quite on point there. And, oh, the bubble actually had to be flashed out from nice play there by Nami. Brand had backed away, but Caitlyn did not know what was going to happen there, so had to just decide to save her own life as opposed to risking it a little bit.
So we're at a kind of this game is kind of very aggressive, very aggressive game, and this kind of all stems from the fact that both these comps are pick comps. So Thresh going in again.
Oh, but he can keep going in here. He's got the flame. He's got the lantern available as well. Chucks it back to Lulu. Don't want to grab that one. There is a Vayne chasing down, protecting that brand as much as possible. And you talked about this beforehand, right?
Yeah.
Vayne struggles when... Brand struggles when he can't escape. And against the Thresh, like this Thresh, you definitely can't escape. He has missed a couple of hooks, but he's hit most of them. Yeah,
for the most part, he's been relatively very on point. And Cocoon barely missing there from.
Oh, the hook! Oh, it's Renekton. Okay, not quite the target you want.
No.
And Vayne actually popping the final hour. They're going to jump in on this one, but Vine not quite hitting that assault and battery. Here comes the Pyroclasm. That's going to bounce a ton of times. Look at that, all over the place. Recycle gets taken out very quickly. Renekton's there. Hasn't got Dominus. Has got Flash if he wants to flash away. Will have Dominus any second now. There it is, and that's actually a good pickup for them, but it is only the support.
It's a revenge kill. You know it is. They're just like, you know what? This Thresh, he's messed with us for too long. We need to take him out.
They do manage to get the kill, but they've used all their ultimates. Assault Battery is available now if they want to go in. There's the Dominus, nicely done. Assault Battery used there, not quite necessary, but they managed to secure another kill. Onto that, at least they can keep pushing. Thresh is back up. Caitlyn's very low, as is Xin Zhao. The wave will be with them in about 10 seconds or so. So a little bit mistimed, but they should be able to get at least a tower out of this, especially
with the way the minion wave is in that bottom lane. Though they can rotate down, and the fact that Kung Fu Fanda have backed away, this is probably going to go down very quickly. Yeah, that's going down so quick. That's another great little rotation there.
Oh, nice hook there onto the Renekton. He might be able to get away. Nice Evan Flow going to speed him up, and the bubble there landing onto Thresh as well. Wasn't chasing, but still. Like, we talked about this Vi's build and how she's doing a lot of damage, but she's also gone towards that Sunfire Cape and Mercurial Treads as well. Mercury Treads, just for that little bit of extra tenacity and magic resist. So not going straight for the Triforce, which you might expect, but maybe after the Sunfire Cape she will go towards that. Or it could be a Manduins as well.
Could be Manduins. They changed the build path, didn't they?
Yeah.
A couple of patches ago. Yeah, so I mean... I don't blame her. Oh, it is Randuin. So I don't blame her getting the tenacity or the Randuins, because the way that Vi can just jump in and just with her Vault Breaker and with that Soul Battery, you can just kind of get into the middle and get a really nice Randuins. But the Baron started.
Yeah.
Bold strategy, Cotton.
It's half health already. I don't think anyone's going to get here in time. Melting it down. Xin Zhao with the Blade of the Ruin King is going to burn through this.
Great little move here from Kung Fu Fanda. That's Baron gone down. They are in any position to contest.
Oh, flash flay there. Only hitting up one person. Nami does flash away from it. But here comes Vi from the middle of the team, basically. I was going to say from the back line, but it was nowhere near the back line.
They can't
chasing away onto Thresh on the side. Lots of damage coming down to this Thresh. I'm not sure he's going to be able to escape. Has to use space for the mounting. Tidal Wave hits up 3 people as well. Vayne does get the first kill, but Xin Zhao is there. He's going to dive in. Look at the damage from Xin Zhao. Pyroclasm coming in. Vayne is down, but here comes Vi as well. Joining the tower dive this a little bit. Lots of damage from Brand. Not able to pick up anyone. Xin Zhao to the side. Ace in the hole going to come in. Nami blocks that one off, but here is Zen. Picks up 1. That's a double kill for him.
Got the red buff as well.
Is he going to be able to pick up 2? No. Nami nice with the bubble there. Going to be able to get himself away, but Brand needs to be careful here. He can get jumped on. Nice stun, but Renekton's still there. He's got Dominus as well. Look at that. 3/4 of his health and 1 small
Brand's doing a lot of damage with that Leandries on the wrap.
Lots of damage.
And it can only get worse. He's going to get that Void Staff. He's going to get those Sorcerer Shoes. He's going to get more penetration. And this is where Brand kind of excels, because the fact he does percentage magic damage with that passive. I think it's 8% at the moment. Plus the Leandries burn as well. You end up you're doing like chunks of people's HP before mitigation. And you see that with the Pillar of Flame, and you're kind of ticking away on them. and that makes Brand very difficult to trade with because actually, although he's got kind of like a very quick rotation, a very kind of quick spell rotation, he can still do really good sustain damage because of the dot. And that kind of works quite nicely with things like Renekton and Vayne and Vi because actually you kind of keep going and you kind of keep rotating through these fights and this Brand is just he's been in the right place a lot of the time. He's been doing a ton of work.
There's a nice rotation here by Kung Fu Fandas into the top lane. Vi's a little bit out of position. There she goes. Is she going to be able to? No,
great
nice play there, and Xin Zhao.
Yeah,
so
great
much damage from him. That was a
great little flay from the Thresh to pull him back in, and that backwards flay is tough, man. That's a hard little move to get right. So Recycle really just kind of showing his putting his Thresh mechanics on flay there. I mean on play. Puns.
It's doing me. Anyway, we see Elise pushing down the mid lane as well. They might rotate towards that. They got a little bit. Didn't get any damage on the tower. They tried to get some damage on the tower, but. Mid lane, like it used to be the strongest inhibitor to get down. It hasn't. It's not really anymore because you don't get those super minions in other lanes. Pyroclasm actually coming out can do a lot of damage, and they might try and engage. The exhaust came down there from Thresh, and he's going to get taken out. Nice exhaust actually mitigating a lot of the damage from Pyroclasm, so nicely done by him. But Thresh got caught out of position, as you said. Talisman of Ascension. No, sorry, that was Whimsy Pop there by Lulu. Teleport coming in here by Renekton. He's going to try and come around the side on this one. Actually be able to get in there in time. I'm not quite sure. Here he comes
Dominus
with
pop.
that Dominus. The Repel coming out from Elise. He's going to get stunned up as soon as she comes down. Vayne doing a lot of damage, but he was tanking up the tower. It's not what you want. Nice tidal wave going to hit up 3 people there, but no one's going in. Assault battery there by Vi. None of your team are there, Vi. Where on earth are you going? And he gets taken down really, really quickly. Just way out of position. Flash away there from the ace in the hole. It does keep chasing you, Brand, but you did manage to get behind your big, beefy crocodile in front of you.
That crocodile's so beefy as well right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were talking about why this mid inhibitor is not as popular as it used to be, and I think this is the twofold problem. It's the fact that the inhibitors don't share the lane buffing that they used to when you take down those inhibitors, and also taking this bottom inhibitor, you force teams to make decisions. Well, we've got a bottom lane push, or we have to get the Baron, or we have to sacrifice the Baron because if you leave that bottom lane pushing, they're going to inevitably take objectives whilst you're sort of co-defending that Baron. And I think this is part of the reason we've seen the teleport come into play a lot as well, is because you kind of need these split decisions and you need to be able to kind of leave a guy behind to keep the waves out whilst you're kind of being forced into the Baron dance and stuff. But because Kung Fu Fanda took that cheeky little sneaky Baron, that middle inhibitor is kind of been a bit more attractive now because they're in a bit of a good spot and actually can force down that mid lane and open up the map a bit more.
That Baron, of course, has worn out, so we'll be up relatively soon. I say relatively soon. It was a very early Baron actually being taken down by them. So
yeah, it was about 23, 24 minutes, I think it was, something like that.
So should be up in a few minutes. And Thresh actually hanging off to the side here. Xin Zhao not with the team, and of course doesn't have teleport, as we've been talking about for the majority of this game.
Yeah.
Xin Zhao does not have teleport, everyone, but you saw the damage he did in the last fight. Oh, fine Lauer coming out here. Nice cocoon there, and there's a fight in the mid lane as well. There's the assault battery onto Caitlyn. Pyroclasm come down as well. Elise repels down under the tower, and Brand is not in the best position. Dominus being popped, wild growth there onto Elise. There's the Pyroclasm. Lots of damage come down from that. Elise does go down, but Xin Zhao is coming as quickly as he can towards this fight. And it looks like they're at least going to get them a Nexx in. Oh, nice slice and dice across there. The nice flash from the bubble there. And there's the Death Sentence. He's going to chase that one all the way in. Nami goes down. And they're trying to get away. Blade of the Moon King, ace in the hole, get blocked out by that crocodile again. Vayne trying to kite back as well as he can. Nice hook down to Renekton. Vayne's not going to be able to kite this one, is he? Yeah! No, he's not. And Renekton goes down as well. Nice trading, 4 for 1. And that Elise only just got taken down.
Blade of the Ruin King, Yumu's Ghost Blade, Xin Zhao. That shit is scary. As an AD carry, I would not want to fight against that in any way. Xin Zhao's going to probably die.
He's actually going to die, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to die there to that turret.
Execute.
And,
here comes Brand. Like, I'd be scared of Brand right now. Yes, he's picked up 1 kill in the last few minutes, but he's still 6 and 3. Still got the he's building a Giant's belt now, probably towards a Rylai's as well.
Yeah, I think the Rylai's does so much work with that Leandri's Torment, and it also allows him to kind of, because Brand doesn't have a dash or an escape like some of the other mages in the meta at the moment, he needs some kind of way to peel or self-peel and get people with him. And I think that the fact that Leandris gets more damaged when they're CC'd or slowed, coupled with the need for tankiness and that kind of self-peel, I think it's a great pickup. Great.
Most definitely. And we look at how much this is evened out at the moment. Like, it's 15 kills to 15. There's 700 gold difference, and like a while ago, I remember it was an 8-1 in this game.
Yes.
It was a really big difference earlier on.
Yeah, seen some great little moves there from Kung Fu Fanda. Well, actually, you've seen great moves from both sides, to be fair. But the comeback is kind of
Thresh. They might be able to pick him down here. Actually, Tidecaller's blessings there. Final hour as well. Vayne with that passive, being able to chase him down quite a bit.
Potentially didn't need to use the Vi ult there. With Vayne's passive, that Night Hunter, you can pretty much chase anyone down forever. But that's given them that kind of ability to really...
Oh, Vayne getting caught out a little bit there. Xin Zhao is still in the mid lane. Baron is down to about half of his HP. Vayne is going to chase across on this Elise right now. It's down to half of HP as well. Nice tidal wave there. Baron down to 4,000, 3,000. Here comes Xin Zhao from the side. Nice question stone. Oh, is it going to be a smite steal? Xin Zhao is there. No! Damon Prox gets taken out, but Xin Zhao still fighting in the middle of this one. Gets a double kill. Actually manages to pick up the Baron as well. Xin doing fucking work in this fight.
Holy crap.
9 and 2 gets a triple kill. Gets Baron.
I think
Actual Dickens is going on. Miscommunication is just like, oh, we don't need a jungler. I'll just fucking do it myself.
junglers are overrated, and you damn well know that, Sona. You damn well know that. Yeah. I think we've decided our MVP already. I've decided it in my mind. I feel like you probably agree with me.
Yeah, I don't even understand
I don't even
anymore.
Just Xin Zhao, you're a god. You're a god, Xin Zhao. Thresh, you're also a god. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for this.
I'm trying to work out how you would counteract that as a team. You need a targeted. You need to lock up Xin Zhao as soon as he jumps on your Vayne. Yes, Vayne can condemn. Exhaust on Vayne there. Nice box as well. They're going to go down. Look at that damage on the Vayne. Caitlyn gets the headshot there. And Vi goes down as well. Miscommunication. Now 10 and 3 on that Xin Zhao. Like, you need to lock down Xin Zhao as soon as he jumps into your team. But he's got so much lifesteal. And
you need
so much. Oh, beautiful hook again, and Xin. No gold for you is making sure.
I think that's going to be the closing out.
It's going to be game. Like, it's
got to be. They can finish this up pretty easily here. I think plenty of damage that they can do to these turrets. Wow. Yeah. But realistically, to counter this, to deal with this in Zhao, they need to be able to peel him off this Vayne, and that comes from the exhaust. And that comes from Nami landing good tidal waves. That comes from Nami landing good bubbles. And good stuns potentially coming out from Renekton or Brand or Vi or one of those, you might not necessarily need someone to dive Caitlyn as effectively because she doesn't do the same kind of damage. And actually protecting Vayne could have been a better strategy than diving their Caitlyn or diving their Lulu.
Caitlyn does a lot of damage over a long team fight.
She does, but Vayne, you can't argue that Vayne doesn't do more.
Oh, Vayne does more. Like, the problem is Vayne is a lot more susceptible to getting jumped on, and that's what we saw every time in that game.
Yes, absolutely.
Elise would jump on him, Xin Zhao would jump on her, or him or her, like, just amazing damage, and totally wrecked them. Like, MVP is all over it's all miscommunication. He just, amazing play.
Yeah,
won the early game, won his lane, got ganked a couple of times, still won, just dominated.
He was 0-2 against that Renekton at one point, and you know what? He was like, I don't give a hell that I haven't got TP, I've got Ignite, I'm going to build Blade of the Ruined King, Yumu's Ghostblade, and I'm going to kick ass. And that's exactly what he did.
Let's have a quick look at damage done, because I think Brand obviously did the most, because he was bursting people down. But look at this, 22,000. More damage than the enemy AD carry on that Xin Zhao, and he was just melting targets as quickly as he could. I bet you he's got some of the highest healing as well. Yep.
Yes.
Apart from Nami, he was the highest healing in the game.
It's that W, every third attack, you get that big chunk of health back. And with the healing from the healing from the Blade of the Ruined King, fantastic stuff.
All credit there to miscommunication, well played, and credit of course to KFF as well. They looked like they were quite a way behind. They managed to come back into that game really, really well. We're going to be back with a final game of the day. Oops, I've accidentally put that on the stream, which is MBC versus LC. We'll be back in probably about 5 to 10 minutes, guys. So stay tuned. I know it's getting late, but I'm really enjoying myself, and I'm sure you are as well, Gosh. Any last words you want to say before we go for our little break?
just great. Just been fantastic games today in general. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm really pleased with the high level of play as well.
I thought you were going to say casting there for a second.
No,
I'm really pleased with the high level
I've
of
quoted
casting.
myself once there,
We're the
but I can't
best.
really compliment myself as well. Ego would be too much.
Anyway, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Thank you for watching. This is the
Thanks,
Cyber Gaming UK League of Legends sort of league that we have, I guess. And created by Niall Fraser, who is also known as Hyman Klinger. Really nice guy, but an awful,
Played a
awful
fantastic
player of League of
Misfortune game
Legends.
earlier. Didn't he just?
Absolutely
His
dire.
Misfortune was inspiring, one might say.
Anyway, we'll be back in just a few minutes, guys. Stay tuned.